All right, let me add some images real fast, folks. That one. All right, let me downsize these. Well, I hope everybody has been doing all right today. Mr. Chris, how have you been? Today we will be discussing the good old Lost Episode 15, which got put as a movie known as Mobile Suit, or from the original Mobile Suits. Good old Mobile Suit Gundam Cucuruz Doan's Island. I feel like I've messed up his first name.
Don't worry, they mess it up in the dub all day.
But I have to say, both were, it was really good. I went and did some research just to try to figure out what was going on. But the only thing I can ever look at or find on why the episode was pulled was because of poor production quality during the time, and that yeah, I'm gonna butcher his name. I know it. Uh, Tomino, was in poor health at the time too during the production. But still, overall, it was pretty impressive. I don't think it should have been almost 2 hours long, about an hour worth. But
you could definitely tell there was some padding in there.
Are you away from your mic? You're a little low.
I said, yeah, you could definitely tell there was a little bit of padding in there.
More panning.
You probably could have got
an hour,
like an hour 20.
There was an hour 48. I'd say just it only needed to be in under an hour, and it was good. 48 minutes would have been perfect.
Because there are some points in it where the story kind of drags a bit and nothing's really going on, and it's just a lot of stuff dealing with them trying to set up the rescue of Armoro.
Yeah, that seems so like there are moments like there's a moment I forget what the lieutenant's name is, and the other lady that's flying the core booster at the time. There, I was like, they just have this emergency landing scene, and I was just like, why is this a comedy relief moment here? But a lot,
just call it what it is. It was dumb.
But a lot of the fights with Doan and some of those other Xeon pilots were pretty good.
I didn't like it. I felt like they had built them up to be these ultra badasses, and then Doan just basically takes them out like they're just plain soldiers.
I mean, it's
just wipes them out.
Kind of how it is, because I mean, when it comes, I mean, I give you that, but at least it's not Hathaway. Let's not get into that. But I mean, he's an ace pilot that betrayed Xeon. But I mean,
they were all supposed to be ace pilot because they set up the little battle they have. I forgot what city that is. That shows like they're all super aces in this field.
They're
two of them got taken. One got stepped on by the Gundam, and the other one just got basically thrown into the ship, and he was done.
That's kind of how it goes.
An actual combat situation.
Well, I mean, this was one of those. I think movies that just they wanted to make and just said to hell with it. But I mean, it's not bad. I definitely give it like a 6 out of 10 for what it was.
I probably would give the same, probably 6 or 7. It's about average. I did enjoy the fact that they did try to mimic the art style of the original series.
Oh yeah.
But trying to make it feel like you could just slide this into the regular series and you wouldn't really notice it too much.
Well, I mean, the quote unquote lost episode to us or whatever, it's only 15 minutes. So I mean, this is at the time like Amuro runs away with Gundam, or supposedly yada yada yada. No. I'm sorry.
It's supposed to be right before they was it right before they attack
It's
a certain spot.
it's before they get to before they go to capture Odessa. Odessa's the big thing. But first they have to go to Belfast to like resupply and all that.
Yeah, and if you're a Gundam fan, you already know Operation Odessa.
Anybody if that has been watching Gundam for a long time will slowly end up knowing what Odessa is at some point. But I guess I don't know. Would you recommend this to anybody, or just say skip it?
I would recommend it to Gundam fans. It's a nice little detour. Like I said, the animation is done well, the voice acting is done well. Uh, it took me a minute to kind of get used to the computer animated Gundams and mobile
Yep.
suits and stuff compared to the seems like the more hand drawn background because they kind of stand out from each other.
Yeah. Some animes adapt it more well than others. Some you can't even tell. It does an all right job.
Well,
I
overall it does give you basically what it promised you. You
Yeah.
get to see you get to see Dole's Island. You get to see that he like you said he defected from Xeon. But basically I'm assuming that he because they I'm trying to remember. Do they give you really context of why he left, or is it kind of still kind of left ambiguous?
Well, the base had the missiles. I don't know what kind of missiles they were. I don't. I'm assuming sort of not, kind of like nukes, but not. But they were aimed at like five major cities on Earth: in New York, Washington, London, Paris. No,
France,
there's six
yeah.
of them. There's six of them. I just can't remember them all. But it was a forwarding operation, sort of like a forward operating base in
Right.
secret. And then, I mean, by the time you see all the fights and everything, they launch the missiles and they explode in space. I'm like, why did these explode in space? Anybody like, like,
I think it's alluded to that after he spent so much time with the children and the woman, he kind of changed his mind about burning the whole planet.
well, the lady mentioned something about, or I think Doan, so I guess he worked on the missiles too.
I think he was supposed to be there to basically maintain them just in case they needed to launch them
Hmm. That's
because I kind of feel like okay he doesn't really want it. He like the kids are supposed to be like the motivation for him to change and that he can just walk away from war and just give it up. He
pretty
doesn't really want to do
much.
it more. But
It just seems like such a filler thing to me. Still,
they gotta have some sense of like urgency, like we have to stop this, trying to create that sense of tension.
they
But
probably
it's
could have.
like to me, it's hard for Xeon to kind of say, "Well, we're the good guys in this whole situation," when they do stuff
Well, I
like they.
mean, which one was it that dropped the colony? What was it? Operation uh, Australia? Was it?
Mhm.
Uh,
I don't know. Xeon just has. It's kind of like you're trying to use this as a deterrent. You're threatening, but trying to use it as a deterrent, saying like, if you try to attack us, we'll basically devastate these cities. And I'm not saying the Federation is without blame here, because they do some
oh, both sides are
under.
bad.
And I guess it's supposed to be trying to say, in the midst of war, both sides aren't exactly innocent in this whole thing.
Oh no, they are not.
But the other thing, when I pick it up on Blu-ray, uh, I probably pick it up on Blu-ray once it go on sale.
I
Just to
probably
have it.
would as well. It's not something I'm like outright would buy right off the bat, um, like the Gundam Thunderbolt movies or Gundam
Yeah,
December Sky. God, they need to
yeah,
hurry up
waiting
with
on
that
that
third one.
Bandai.
God, hear us. We want the damn third movie, damn it. Publish it.
That's. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, just they need to publish it.
I think more so. I think we'll probably get a sequel to Hathaway before we get that third movie.
maybe we'll see. They're being so.
We'll probably get the Gundam Seed Destiny movie because they've been hitting around it. That movie's they're still trying to push that movie out.
We'll see. There's no telling. But let's get on to season 3 of Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. Because my God, did that amp up quickly? We've gone from high school now to war crimes. That didn't take long.
Like now, this season has basically. I didn't too much like the first episode. I'm gonna say that off the bat.
It was.
I didn't like the time skip.
It wasn't that big of a time skip. It was just.
It's like 2 weeks.
Okay, listen. This is not like a training arc time skip.
Like we just survived this horrible, horrific thing, and it just opens up. We're back at school and we're doing mobile suit duels again. I'm like, that's not something you would just basically. It would not really be something that you would need to contemplate or think about right there.
Well, I mean, considering things have to move on. That's how life is sometimes.
Yeah. Even though technically we do find out that her Maria, I can never pronounce her name right. I think it's Marina. That her father is he's still pretty much out of commission. 2 weeks later.
And then there's
they're back to school in that 2 weeks. Nor has she even responded to Soletta.
Well, she's been so busy doing all that work. I mean, running that company.
She says it like, yeah, I got your emails all 3 a day. You sent me 3 a day for 2 weeks. So she knows she got the email. She just never responded to it.
It's not like she didn't care. I mean, like she did not want to, but I mean, just being president of a company, it does take a lot.
Well, let's start with episode 1 though. And our two with the antagonists, I guess you would say they are. They are 2 Gundam pilots, our new Gundam, our G witches. Somehow end up at the school, which we at the beginning of the show you don't know how they got there or really why they're there. You just know they're there, and we get a little more detail into what's her name? What's the girl? The one that saved the ship.
She's she's an engineer for the Gun Arms Incorporated or Gun Arms Inc. I forget her name, but she's part of the terrorist group that those 2 are part of, and she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, she's pretty much like a spy for them.
Or an informant, I would think.
But is it? I don't know. I have to really go back and rewatch it again. I'm trying to think. Because Shadi is the one that kind of puts that little organization into motion. That little thing into motion with them.
Which one?
The Prince.
Oh well, yeah. He hires them to like kidnap his father, at which they successfully do finally. But that other time was a complete flub up. They're just a means to an end for him.
Yeah, because he basically reveals that he basically wants to take over and be president and kind of shift things around to try to make what he considers to make peace between Earth and space.
Yeah, and when
he's kind of using very nefarious means in which to do it.
Yeah, but he's trying to get what he wants. What's the third company? They're in charge of. They're all the creepy ladies that look the same, but they're all various sizes.
I can't remember that's what I hate about this here. It's hard to keep up with all these companies.
They're like one of the big 4 or 5 companies right now. But after Miss, how do you pronounce her name? The bride to be. Marina. Okay, thank you. Since her dad's out of commission, there has to be a new president. But as we go to like from 3 to 4, Mercury's mother wants her to become president, but she doesn't want to become president because she finds out that, yeah, her dad was the reason Mercury's mom and a bunch of other people died. during an incident 21 years ago.
Basically doing the incident of the prologue.
Yeah, so, but right now there's 5 or 6 factions that are divided to who is going to become in charge of all the corporations. So it's Gule's coming back into the scene now. So, and he was with the terrorists for a while.
Yeah, so he had to be with them for at least that whole 2 weeks once the battle was done.
Oh yeah, he was a hostage, but I mean it was for those. And sorry, there are spoilers for this, but we're discussing the early episodes, so fair warning. I should have said it earlier, but oh well. Too late. But yeah, his he ended up accidentally killing his dad, and he didn't know till the last minute. That was one of the most like, I'm like, he needed an attitude adjustment, but not like that. That horrified me to see him go through that.
Yeah, it seemed like he's gonna be his character arc is gonna be a lot different from the other characters.
Oh, he's a changed man. He is definitely going to take the reins of his dad's company, and since his brother is going to be pretty much as soon as Gule showed up to his brother who was in charge of the company, as soon as their dad passed away, he just passed out. He's fainted from excitement or exhaustion, whichever.
What you can understand, because at the time they assumed that he had died in the conflict.
Right.
Assuming. So it was kind of like a shock. You just see him walk through the door because you see him and they just
Brother.
and he just. But his brother is injured from the previous battle with the 2 Gundams that basically infiltrate the school and basically stir up a whole lot of problems with these. What do they call them? The Spacies.
And they call them species, and then there's the Earthnoids. It's been,
which is to me, it's kind of interesting. Excuse me, because it's kind of like the reverse Gundam. Because usually, like the Earth noise, the Earth noise kind of oppressing space, but now it's kind of like the reverse. Like
yeah.
Space is kind of oppressing Earth.
It's so weird how they always do that because there aren't really. It's hard to say what this involves now.
Because it's kind of more like the space and Earth are at peace, quote unquote, but it's a lot of tension between like the peoples of the 2 societies.
Yeah, and then you come to find out, which is one of the reason that Mercury can handle all the data storm. You find out that her freaking, this is my guess, her older sister, somehow they took her biometric code, transferred it over to the Ariel, and that's why Silhouette is just meshes with the system so well, is because one is a blood relative, or biometrics are similar, so the data storm doesn't even affect her. But it's like there's another person in there. And there's other children in there too. And
he's cleaving to the speculation that Suletta may be either a clone or something down that line.
Yeah, because her mom wants to reach something called Quiet Zero, and that's where Area's Silhouette's sister, is my assumption, because we don't know too much right now, except she's literally alive within the Gundam. She's literally the computer system for the Gundam, basically, is to put it.
Yeah, she's basically
literally
like a biocomputer.
And it's insane. And
I think the Quiet Zero she's talking about, because you remember, like in the final episode of the first season, where the Gundam usually glows red sometimes when she's in battle, but then all of a sudden it
starts turning blue,
and then she's able to control the little Gundam psycho drones.
The bits. We'll just go with bits.
The field.
Yeah, like her Area. I don't know if it's Area's doing or Silhouette's doing.
It's supposed to be like a merging of the 2.
Probably so.
In perfect sync, then they can get to that point.
But it's.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, Mommy Dearest has got Silhouette wrapped around her finger right now
Mommy
because
Dearest is crazy.
I mean, I'm not kidding. Like when I was reading through some comments a couple of weeks before I watched the episode, I saw Char trending on Twitter. I was like, what's going on? I read that the line and I saw it, but yeah, the Mommy Dearest is definitely Char. Holy crap!
And it seems more like she may love Suetta, but she kind of like using her for like a means to an end.
Yeah, she's definitely just a
I
puppet.
want my vengeance upon your father,
Well, her family.
and I'm gonna use whatever I can to get it.
And what's nuts is that's why she wants Marriott to become the president. It's like, well, your dad's out of commission. You'll do. It's like, oh my god, ma'am, stop.
Yeah, cause that's the whole thing between those two. Like she's like, no, your father took everything from me, and so I'm going to do it to you, him.
Since he's not there, he'll do.
Yeah, she basically spells it out like I'm willing to sacrifice anything to get my vengeance upon you and your family. Even Soletta, Soletta is like the perfect soldier. Like she questions nothing her mother says, and she would do whatever her mother says without questioning. It's like it definitely is putting a rift between her and Marina because she's like you don't even see the fact that this woman is using you. That if she told you to die, you will literally die for her.
Yeah, she is like, well, I did what mommy said. That's why I'm here at the school making friends. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it I don't know. I think she doesn't want to do it because when she asks what if your mother told you to go up your dream of having a school on Mercury, she kind of hesitates a bit on it.
Yeah, she does, but it's
But you could tell like she is convinced. Her mother has basically convinced her like everything she's doing is right and just do it and kind of just to follow orders and it makes sense to her.
mom's been
But
right so far. Why question it now?
except for the point where she had her start going on a rampage and killing people in that last episode.
It's like, it's there's just so
It's
much to unpack.
and it's the fact that she still when she unalived the guy with basically squishing him, and like and she still sees no issue with what she did.
I'm
And
trying to find it.
Marina looks at her like you still don't understand or know that what you did was wrong. Like there was other ways you could have handled that.
Yeah, there's a an image I'm trying to find where it's just Silhouette talking about. It's like people are like tomatoes. Sometimes you have to pick some bad ones out. I'm like, I hate this analogy. Why? Not to go on a side tangent here, but this is reminding me of Big O now. I'm like, why are tomatoes and giant robots being involved in this? Is this why I really like this? Because it reminds me of Big O.
That's another one we might have to talk about.
Oh, dude, we could talk about that all day, but that'll have to be another time.
But but really, episode 4 is like the the big
Yeah,
basically arc.
that's the shit hitting the fan. It's
And it's
like
like it's so hard. It's like I was so heartbreaking when I saw it because
I just
if you don't know, by the time round about the second half of the fourth episode, the security companies is now starting to do like sweeps of the earth trying to find the president. And of course, they stumble upon where Gul is because that's where they basically gotten word of the terrorists are located in this area. So,
yep.
of course, what happens? You got one guy, one hotshot young guy who's like never been in battle, but he's talking a whole bunch of mess. And
Yeah.
basically, they probably would have been able to escape without any problems, but he gets scared, start opening fire on him, and it basically kicks off the whole battle. And within that context of the battle, a mobile suit, I have no idea why it did it, because it didn't make sense because he should have been aiming at the mobile suit, but he wasn't. So I'm not sure why he fired a bunch of rockets into the building, but blows at the building. Kind of weird. Nobody died from the explosion, but we're gonna go past that.
Um,
Gyul, Gyul, a little girl, and a little boy, and I forgot what the other guy's name because he just comes in this episode. He's the commander of the terrorist group or the rebel group, however you want to say it. And basically, the little girl gets injured, basically seriously injured. He basically takes a post and like, okay, she's done. She's not going to survive. We got to get out of here. And they leave her and Gyul. And the heartbreaking thing is she's still alive. Gyul gets himself out from up under the rubble, and she's still alive. He picks her up, puts her on her back, and he's running trying to find help. And she asking him why. And I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna save her. She's gonna make it, and she's gonna be like he's gonna treat her like his own daughter or something like that.
and
And boy, was I
then
wrong. It's like, uh, because they started heading towards the base, and I think because one thing I will say about Witch from Mercury is that they don't really shy away from the gruesomeness of mobile suit combat.
not at all. That's how it's
Because you,
always been.
yeah, because Gil actually almost gets hit, crushed by a mobile suit flying that's got knocked away from the battle. Once again, don't ask me why it didn't explode like every other mobile suit. It's just plot convenience.
Plot
He
armor.
gets into it. It's him and the commander. They're the last ones. He basically finds the place where the rebels are retreating to. Helps defeat the last security agent. And once he defeats the last security agent, the next shot of the cockpit is us looking at her basically deceased body, and him just basically going through another almost like another mental breakdown, more so for basically
Well, I
getting
mean
in his
that.
mind that I'm not gonna let this happen to anyone else.
I mean, it was a pretty like. I mean, that was not PTSD inducing, but I mean that was some shell shocking moments for that young man.
Yeah, it's like they seem to just be convinced to put. Well, I kind of understand why they did it because when you first meet Gil, he's
He's
very
a dick.
brash and yeah, I want to say it like that, but he's
I
brash.
know he's a complete jerk. He needed
He's
a
rich.
he needed
I
a
think
humbling moment, but not like that.
yeah, but it kind of basically puts him in that frame of mind where now he's matured a lot more now. He's
Oh, definitely.
more confident. I guess more confident. Like no, time to put childish things away and try to grow up
He's
and be a man.
he's definitely more seasoned.
Yeah, 'cause you can see it when he gets back to his father's company, like the way he walks, his look in his face, like he's like a completely different person. And I'm actually interested to see where they take his character.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm heavily invested now.
And should we give another spoiler?
I think we spoiled everything already.
Well,
Unless you know about episode 5 and I don't.
not about one. The spoiler about one of our pilots.
Go for it.
What's her name? Well, the Gundam pilot that's one of the terrorists that's completely in love with Suletta and wants her to be her big sister.
Oh, that crazy woman.
Basically, she says because Suletta challenges her to a duel, and she basically once they get in their Gundams and they basically they commence their attack. She basically says, "Now let's go ahead and duel." And her Suletta go at it, but Suletta's kind of hesitant to just to beat her to fight her for whatever reason. It's like she doesn't want to do it. But if you like that character, I'm sorry, she doesn't make it out of episode 3.
Should go boom.
She completely gives into the data storm and basically dies right there in her mobile suit, which we kind of got a hint at the last season because she does the same thing, where she kind of pushes the data limit to its limit, but she was able to pull herself back. But this time, she wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, she
But
succumbed to the because there's like what is it, a 4 minute operational time they have is that once they turn on the the Gundam systems.
Yeah, once the data storm starts to kick in, they can only operate for like a limited amount of time. But she just wants to fight.
Yeah, she definitely loved the battlefield a little too much and paid the price for it.
Which is kind of, which I kind of see where they're going with that. I'm speculating on that, but I kind of have a hint of what they're gonna do with her. That somehow, I really speculate that somehow the terrorist group is gonna get their hands on that same data, or Soletta's mom gonna give them that data, and they're gonna use her biometrics on the other girl's machine, so she can have a longer runtime.
Maybe we will see. I mean, what's his name tried to steal the Gundam aerial during episode 4, and he found out the damn hard way what the
Yeah.
Gundam really is, or Gundam aerial is.
What's that? It's so many. It's they're like this Gundam series kind of hard because there's so many characters in this that play parts in it. I'm trying to remember the doctor that helped design some of the gun arm technology. Because she had already been experimenting with like humans and the data storm and stuff like that.
Yeah, she. I just find it hilarious, sort of hilarious how much of a hypocrite she was. She's like, you turned your own daughter into a Gundam. It's like you can't say anything because she goes, "You're the one that developed the code for it to allow it to happen." I'm just sitting here. I'm like, okay, well, you're just as guilty as she is.
But did she do it as a sense to basically? I'm pretty sure she expected like maybe like adults, not for a mother to do that to her own child.
Yeah, but we're dealing with Gundams, so you know how that goes. If there's hmm, child soldiers, war crimes. That's
Well,
most of the
it's always
Gundam
been child.
series.
Yeah, most of Gundam is always child soldiers
That's why I
somehow.
really love G Gundam. It's not that.
Yes, this armed military force is going to give $1 billion machine to a 16-year-old.
Thing will be fine. It'll be fine. Nothing will happen. Right?
That's what a part of anime where you have to suspend your belief right there because it would make no sense because it's like why would you give a child a mobile suit? They have no combat experience. They're not mature enough to handle combat. And
Well, I
we've
mean,
seen it
it's
several
like,
times. We've seen it several times where they put these kids in the mobile suits, and what happens? They steal the mobile suit. They have to go through that little art where they take the mobile suit, and they gotta basically go witness a whole bunch of stuff and go through trials, and then come back and realize, you know what, fighting this war is right.
I mean, they kind of did it with like Gundam Wing, but yeah.
Mm, which is at times I'm kind of like, oh, the Gundam Wing might be. I ain't gonna say that because I don't want to get the Gundam fans on me.
Although, listen, they can go, they'll be all right.
We really want to talk about Gundam as a whole. I think Gundam Wing is very much overrated. Like I love Gundam Wing. It's a good show, but the way people have pushed it to the stratosphere in comparison to some of the other series, I'm like, uh,
It's
it's
okay.
good
You're
enough
allowed
for
to be
me.
wrong.
No, well, no, we're not going to start that. We might. I told you, you might have to debate
We won't get past anything.
that.
But well, I think that's gonna be it for this episode, folks.
Yeah, I think like I said, if you have not been, well, I'm trying to wait to see because I've had a theory about the season 1 and season 2 of G Witch, but I'm still trying to wait to see if it's gonna pan out. It's kind of seeming like it is.
We will see. I have a feeling where we might see a curveball from somewhere. I'm
Oh,
wondering
I
about.
was talking about its popularity.
Oh, it's pretty popular from what I've been reading.
Yeah, well, I like for what I'm saying, 'cause it used to be that first season came out, like you couldn't go on Twitter, Facebook,
Uh,
anywhere without seeing it.
Well,
Just
people were
basic
complaining about, it's high school setting. I was like, it's called development of a story.
Right now, I want to see. I want to see if it's gonna stay as popular as it was the first year, or people just jumping on it because of what they thought the romance was gonna be,
Well, we will
or
see.
because they actually wanted to see it.
I am very curious to see how far it'll the romance will go because I don't. I mean, it's a friendship still. I mean, they are bride and groom. Air quoting here. Those I can't see it, but they care for each other as friends and all that, or as really good friends.
Yeah,
They haven't kissed or anything. I don't remember on top of my head, but I mean, we will
we still
see.
got 2 more seasons.
We will see how far this goes because
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of twists and turns coming.
Yeah, because we still got 2 more seasons after this one. Because typical Gundam seasons is usually 50, around about 50 episodes, and they're kind of
Oh
doing
yeah,
it the same. They're kind of doing it the same way they did Double O, breaking them up into 12 episodes.
it's fine. Just don't do a really bad movie. Like almost ruin the series.
No, Gundam Seed did enough of that.
What's going on, Mundo? Yeah, we're just wrapping up. Let's see. Yeah, the end credit is a lot less suitable. Yeah. Oh, speaking of though, I will say the opening theme and ending theme for the new season of Witch from Mercury is really good.
I prefer the old.
I am just saying.
I thoroughly enjoyed the opening theme song of the first season.
They're good.
I do like the ending theme song of the second season, but not the opening theme song.
Now, I think the ending for the third one's the best one so far as ending themes go. But we'll see. It's fourth season to come.
It's coming, and like I said, they've already started dubbing it. So the dub is 3 episodes behind. So yeah, you'll be if you're watching the dub, you'll still just be 3 episodes behind the sub people,
Oh yeah.
or you'd be like me because I'm still rewatching first season dubbed.
No, I'll be doing subbed. I'm not a big fan of the English voices on this series, honestly.
And I do think they took. I can tell like the Japanese voice actors actually took the advice I gave, which is kind of back away from the stuttering and stumbling over your words. Like you've known these people for months now. You wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't be stuttering like this around people you've known for months.
Hey, at least it's a lot better
Like
voice
that's how.
acting than RE4 Ada Wong.
I'm gonna have to go look at the cutscenes of that because everybody keep complaining about it.
She just the lady did a fine job in Resident Evil 2 remake. It's just RE4 remake for whatever reason. She just delivers the lines. It's just a stale performance. There's just no emphasis behind any of it. So weird.
She might just be like, she might just be over it.
I don't know. But anyways, folks, that's gonna be it for Chris and I. You got anything else to say, Mr. Chris?
No, well, yeah. Hopefully, we'll be back soon to do Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War.
Yes, I need to catch up on that.
One.
That's okay. We had some better subject matter. Gundam.
I know. I was extremely surprised, but we'll talk about that whenever that episode comes up.
Oh yes. All right, Mundo, everybody. Y'all have a great night.